a cosmetologist and a trichologist. As a cosmetologist, which I've been for 49 years, I'm creeping up into 50, and I will definitely invite all of you guys to the 50th year celebration. But the cosmetologist is a person who studied the beautification of hair, skin, and nails. That's what a cosmetologist does. Now, a trichologist studies the disease and the conditions of the scalp and hair. That's the difference between the two. But both of them are licensed to touch. If you're a cosmetologist and transfer over to being a trichologist, you are licensed to touch. So that makes the difference. Okay. Now, here at Akana, we don't claim to diagnose. We don't diagnose, although you have the knowledge and you'll be looking at some things you probably will be able to call it what it is, but you don't. You refer them to dermatologists. Then, if a person is having mental issues causing their hair loss, you refer them to a psychologist. If they haven't, and I always say, you are what you eat. And I have my audience to hold up an imaginary mirror. Just pretend they have a mirror in their hand. They hold it up, look in that mirror, and they say, you are what you eat, meaning they are talking to themselves. And here at Akana, we are now big on the flat belly lifestyle. We're big on trying to make sure people are eating according to their blood type, because a healthy body, a healthy you, mean healthy hair. You can only put in what you expect out. That's the good thing. And then that's dealing with a nutritionist. And then if you feel that the person is having some hormonal issues, you're going to refer them to an endocrinologist, because a lot of times the hormones are out of order. So you want to make sure that you have the people that you can refer them to before you start saying what you think it is. I never do that. Even though can recognize some things, I don't. For instance, I was scoping a young lady one day, and she had a spot in the back of her head about the size of a quarter. And I asked her, I said, what happened? She said, my stylist took my hair out. She took my weave out. Well, I knew that wasn't true. So I advised her to go to a dermatologist. She went to a dermatologist, and she called me back about a week later. And she said, Doris, you know what? I'm so glad I was scoped that day, because I have first stage lupus. Now you see the difference? Now she was able to get in front of lupus and not try to be fighting it, trying to get to it. Then the next phase, she was able to start treating her in the first stage. That's where she was. But a lot of time, we as cosmetologists get blamed for a lot of stuff, but not necessarily. It's true, because clients do a lot of things too that causes their hair to fall out. So today is going to be a question and answer segment. I thought after so many episodes, we need to just put it in the hands of the audience and let them ask questions. But before we do that, I'm going to go through the first product that we had in our line. It was the hemp powered hair. Now, hemp powered hair is that little bottle that's so powerful. And that little bottle has a lot of organic certified oils, and you see it up here on the screen. And that just some of the benefits. It's a natural way to strengthen and heal hair follicles due to hormonal traction and androgenetic alopecia. Protects from stress and breakage. Stress, Doctor, pull it back down. Pull the screen back down. Okay, right there. Traction and androgenetic alopecia. Alopecia is simply the medical term for baldness. That's what alopecia is. It's the medical term for baldness. It protects from stress and traction on the hair. Reduces breakage, thickens edges, promote healthy hair and natural shine. Now let's look at what's in this bottle that's doing all this. And I said each one of those ingredients is like a chain, a link in a chain, and they are so heavily bound together that look, they're unbreakable. They do what they was formulated to do. And let's look at, and I'm not going to even look at the because it's not in order how I've learned it, right? Black seed oil. Black seed oil is that oil that helps soothe that scalp from itchy, burning. If there's scar tissue there, inflammation there, it helps heal that area. And that a lot of people start out, you know, how they be patting the top, itching in the top. That's the warning sign that something is about to happen, or it is already happening up there. And then we have cinnamon. Cinnamon oil is that oil that helps get rid of those free radicals. You know, we have it's an antioxidant. We have free radicals running around in the body, and I always say they paying no rent, just causing havoc on the cells. We have to get rid of that, and that's where cinnamon oil steps in. Then we have peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is that oil that stimulates the blood circulation. Now, when you stimulate the blood circulation, that nourishes the follicle. Where blood don't flow, hair don't grow. And that is a fact. So because the growing stage of hair is anagen, which we want to keep it in that phase as long as we could, which is about 2 to 7 years. Then that's where the blood supply is really great. Then it goes into the catagen stage where you start losing blood supply. And then it stays there about a couple of weeks. Then it transition over to the telogen stage. That's where you have shedding. Shedding is a natural thing. You shed up to 50 to 100 strands a day. Now, if you have your hair in braids or you have it in a weave, any lockdown stationary hairstyle, it's definitely going to shed, but it's not getting out. So, and I'm going to share with you what makes it easier to get out. So then we have moringa. Moringa oil is that oil that keeps the body healthy. It makes the body got to be healthy. We got to have that body in the alkaline state. Where if your body's in an alkaline state, that means it don't house disease. If it's in an acidic state, that's where disease comes in at. That's what we don't want because the follicle, if the follicle gets sick, guess what? If you don't have something to nourish it back to good health, you more than likely you're going to lose that strand, just like with your body. If you get sick and you don't have anything to heal yourself with, what happens? Eventually the body dies. So we want to save every strand that we have. And then from there we go to baobab. Baobab is like, it comes from the tree of life out of Africa. It supplies us with vitamin C and iron. We need that because the iron carries the oxygen to all the cells. If we don't have good iron, we're not going to have good cells. Okay. And then we have lemon oil. The lemon oil in there is the oil that helps kill the bacteria. It helps with cleaning the scalp. Without a healthy scalp, there's going to be some challenges when it comes to healthy hair. So that's what the lemon oil does. It cleans that shaft. Then cleaning that shaft, meaning every time you condition that hair, you condition it on the cuticle layer. Then the pumpkin seed is very important because it has, it's a DHT blocker and it helps get rid of, pumpkin seed helps get rid of inflammation. Inflammation is the one that just destroying us. And we get a lot of build up inflammation through what we're eating, and that's important. Then we have rosemary oil. Rosemary oil is a DHT blocker. And if you don't know what DHT is, we've had this before, and we will cover DHT again. But it's where the follicle is encased with the DHT, wraps around the follicle and chokes out the nutrients. We definitely don't want that. Then we have salmon, which is our omega-3. Salmon oil gives that hair the shine, it gives it the strength. That's very important because you want natural shine. You don't want to have to put a lot of oil on the hair to make it shine. You want the natural shine to flow through. And that's important. Then you have CBD. Now, CBD, a lot of people, oh no, I don't want it if it has CBD in it. I was like, that's the health side of the plant, not the high side. And so we have to make sure people understand, because it has been a negative for so many years. Now we come out, found the other side of it, which is the good side, which puts our body back into balance. And people still are afraid because they don't have the knowledge that you have, and that you will be able to explain to them that this is good. But I will say, if they have a job where they are being tested, I will always say, don't put it under the tongue. When you put it under the tongue, that means it gets into the body much faster. So you don't want it to do that to them. So I say, don't put it under the tongue. Put it on the area on your head where you're being tested.
I'll turn it down because you don't have to deal with it.
I'm looking to see if Lavinda has sent me a.
I don't know who that is, but I'm going to let them finish their conversation. Okay.
I'm sorry. That was me coming in trying to get it together. Please forgive me, Doris.
That's
I apologize.
okay.
I'm on mute now.
Okay, no problem, no problem. That's why when I do a live class and I find somebody talking, I just stop and tell them, I know what they're saying is real important, so we want to hear them, and then we go back to what I was saying. Oh, but hell, we love Diana. We know she's coming in, right? So that's what happens when you use the hemp-powered hair. Those oils all work together and make sure that we have what we need to make that hair stronger. Okay, so if I can, I don't know what you got on the screen now, Doc. Okay, very good. Okay, then we just couldn't stop with the hemp-powered hair. We had to first cleanse that hair. So we have our 3-in-1 shampoo. A lot of people say, 3-in-1 shampoo, what are we gonna do with that? I said, we used to say, oh, don't let that shampoo get on my face. Don't let it get here. But remember, hair is an appendage of skin. Now we can body wash with our shampoo. Isn't that exciting? We have a body wash. And I mean, the benefits of it, it's amazing. And I can't really read it, but it's absolutely amazing what it offers to us. So we know that it doesn't weight the hair down. That's the good thing about it. It cleanses. We need to cleanse thoroughly, and so we can detox those pores, because if the pores are clogged, we can't get our hemp-powered hair oil in. And plus, skin is the largest organ of elimination. We got to be able to get the toxins out. So we have now the 3-in-1 shampoo. So while you're shampooing your hair in the shower, if you are, just go on and let it come on down and become a body wash. That's what we have at that point. It's the body wash. So it's very good. We massage it good. Get a thorough shampoo. It also the shampoo that go along with the scalp facial, okay, where we go in and exfoliate those dead cells. Now we also have a detangler conditioner. The detangler conditioner, now where they put the moisturizer back. The moisturizer conditioner, hair is made of 2 things: protein and moisture. So if we don't moisturize the hair properly, or make sure that we get now good protein, that could be an issue. So we have the moisturizer conditioner, which a lot of people don't drink water like they should. So if they're not drinking water, what could happen? They're not getting hydrated properly. And if you don't hydrate properly, you're going to end up dehydrating, and that affects the hair. Very much so, it affects the hair. So we want to make sure that we do our moisture. Each time you use a product, after each product you use, make sure you towel dry the hair really good after rinsing thoroughly. And when you rinse thoroughly, you're going to open up the hair, rinse on the scalp. Make sure, because if you don't, when that dries, it dries and give the appearance of what people call dandruff, but it's a buildup of product on the scalp. And when you have a buildup of product, you still clogging the pores. And for those of you that are healing hair consultants and you've done any scoping, you can see where that hair is just, those pores are clogged. And then we have our detangler. Our detangler is very important. It's a leave-in, but make sure that you have towel dry all the excess water off the hair before you spray the detangler on the hair. Now, if you one of those people that have been in braids for a few weeks or a month, or have a weave that you've had for a few weeks or a month, then what you want to do is spray the braid. You don't have to worry about spraying the detached follicle, meaning the hair that you purchased. You don't have to worry about spraying that hair. At this point, you want to spray the braid after you've taken the tracks off, and you want to make sure that you unbraid it with the detangler, you guys. It is absolutely amazing to use the detangler so you can take it down with ease. Because if all the hair that would have shedded and would have been blown off the head, that hair is still there. It's now tangled into the other hair. So if you don't handle that properly, you can end up breaking off a lot of the other hair that did not shed. And it goes through a cycle. It from anagen to catagen to telogen back to anagen, and it's constantly rotating. It's not like you're going to lose a lot of hair today and it's going to come back tomorrow. And when people say my hair grew back in 2 weeks, I just shake my head to that, because hair grows on the norm anywhere from a fourth to a half an inch a month. Over the year, 6 inches is what has been given to the growth of hair. Now, if you get more than that, that means you've kept it in the anagen stage longer. And the longer you can keep it in that stage, the longer the hair will grow. When I was at a convention a couple of weeks ago in Dallas, this young lady that I seen, she had the most beautiful ponytail. And I told her, I said, now you have a ponytail. It went from her head to her butt. And I knew it was her own hair. So I asked her, I said, how long have you been growing your hair? She said, she haven't cut it in 13 years. So I said, could you please measure it and send me the measurement? Because I just wanted to see. It was straight hair, and it was all the way down below her, right below her butt. I was amazed. It was so beautiful. And I took pictures of it so I can, share the pictures. But again, the longer you can keep it in the anagen phase, the longer the hair will grow. And that's good for you to know, so you can share that. If a person tell you their hair grew back in 2 weeks, you got to question that. Okay. Let me see some pictures you took 2 weeks ago, and now let me look at what you have now. That's what I usually say, because I don't say it didn't happen. I just want to see proof. Okay. Now, uh, we're gonna open it up. Oh, we have the men. We didn't forget the men. We have the beard oil. The beard oil is just similar to the hemp powered hair. They just, men today are wearing beards. I don't know, because the athletes are wearing them. Uh, a lot of the sports figures are wearing nice beard, and some of them not as thick as they wanted to be. But we found that the beard oil helped in that area. Okay, the beard oil helps in that area, and this is how you will use it. Just massage it into you after you wash your face, and that wash your face with the 3-in-1, and then rinse well. Make sure you got all the foam out of there, and drop the beard oil on, massage it in, as well as men, you can put it right on your head where the challenge area is. Now, I was diagnosed with CCCA. Of course, I panicked because I knew what that was about. I knew what could happen. So I got my hemp powered hair oil, and I used it, not like the companies say, you guys. I used it every day. I mean, I was aggressive on it because I said, this got to work for me. Not saying it would have worked, but I said it got to work simply because I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing this with you guys, and it didn't work for me. Not saying it'll work for everybody, but it will work for somebody. Okay. And I know some people who it is working for. And so after 2 months, my daughter said, Mama, look at it. So she was taking pictures along the way, and it started to look like I was filling in. And 8 months later, my hair was all back. 8 months later. So I was excited about that, because now I knew I could boldly stand up in front of any audience and say, it worked for me. That's why I'm so excited about it. And I want you guys to be excited about it, but you cannot be excited if you bought it and put it on the dresser, put it in the drawer. It does not work there. It works on you if it's going to work. I was born with 5 million follicles, and over 100,000 of those made it to the head. And I tell everybody, every strand I have, I need, and I want. So I want to protect it with all odds. I do not want to lose my hair to any of those reasons why people do lose their hair. Okay. So, Dr. Roz, if you open it up for questions, if you have any questions, I don't filibuster around on questions. If I don't know the answer, I will find it for you and get back with you. But I definitely will share all that I can share with you to make your life easier, to make your sessions, especially if I know there are two consultants, Heal and Hair Day consultants on here, and I want them to feel very confident about what they're delivering when they do their Heal and Hair Day session. I've done 15 so far, and I'm telling you, I'm excited because it works. I mean, it's just you're sharing. People want to know. It's an epidemic, and it's big business. Trust me, big business. So, if any question, I think you could just unmute. I don't know how that goes, Dr. Ross. Can they just unmute if they have a question?
Okay. I had put a question in the chat. Oh, wait, first, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, my question is, what is the best way to use the hemp powered hair when you're using it for treatment?
Okay, very good question. I hope everybody heard the question. You can just shake your head. Everybody heard the question. The way I use it and the way it has been very, very effective is that if they're wearing a weave, okay, where they've sewn down the hair on the tracks, you're going to take 12 drops of hemp powered hair. It's depending on how big the person's head is. And you're going to put about an ounce of water with it and shake it up really good because you know oil and water don't mix well. So you're going to shake it as you go. And you're gonna take that person, place them under a dryer, preheated dryer, let them dry 50%. The tracks, let them dry 50%. And when they dry, you feel that they're 50% dry, take them out. Spray the tracks only. Do not waste your product on the store-bought hair. Okay, although they may say it's human hair, you still don't want to waste your product. You're going to spray it directly on the track. Then you're going to put them back under the dryer and let them dry the other 50%, totally dry. Because if you don't do that, they can end up having mildew in there because they didn't dry properly. Okay, that's one way. With the people who are wearing the weaves, people who are wearing the braids, you do the same thing. Know the length of their hair and spray the braids down to where their hair ends. Okay, don't waste your product on the store-bought hair. Then on a person's natural hair, if you're going to dry their hair, again, dry it 50%, then go back and spray your treatment on. And you calling this a treatment because there is a different than just a conditioner and a treatment. Okay. So after they 50% dry again, you're gonna go back in and spray your treatment throughout the hair, comb it through, and then finish drying 100%. Okay. Did everybody understand that? Roy, was that?
Yes, yes. And comb it through and then dry it.
Comb it through and then finish drying. You're already 50% dry.
Right.
And the
So
reason,
obviously this is after it's been shampooed.
exactly, after it's been
Okay.
shampooed, after you have conditioned it, now you want to put the final treatment on, and that's your hemp powered hair mixed with your water, and
Okay.
you dry that. It's a major difference. Major difference.
Okay. One last question from me. Do you know when we'll be able to get the presentation. I want to start getting comfortable with it before I actually go out. So do you have any idea when we'll get the presentation itself?
It should be ready because it was last Tuesday when we actually did the certification. So it should be ready. You check with Kathy. I think she would have that answer for you. But
Okay, all right.
it should be ready because
Thank you.
I want all the consultants to book their first healing hair day. And then we will zoom in on you so you will feel comfortable and you won't feel alone.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Doris, this is Rena. My question to you, you say you were using it aggressively daily. So how were you putting in the water, then just spraying a little bit on your scalp, or how were you
No,
doing it?
did you guys understand the question? I said when I was diagnosed with CCCA, and I'm sure if you've been on this line before, you know what that is, okay? But I'll
Yes,
just tell
ma'am.
you, it's central. It's where I had started losing up here. Central, and then it started to spiral out. Centrifugal, that's the other C. Cicatricial, which is scar tissue, alopecia. So once I was diagnosed that I got the hemp powered hair oil, every day I would drop some up here and I would massage upward. Why would I massage upward? Because that's pulling the blood up to that area. Okay. Then I would put it under my tongue. I put 3 to 4 drops under the tongue. Why did I put it under the tongue? Because it gets into the bloodstream faster. So that's what I did every day, although it'll say do it 3 times a week. But I was a little bit nervous. So I did it daily. I made a decision and a commitment. See, most of the time people make a decision, but they don't commit to it. They abide, and after a couple of days or either a couple of weeks, they was like, oh, this didn't work for me. No, it didn't, because I say give it 6 months. Give anything 6 months, especially when it comes to growing the hair, because first of all, I'm gonna use my hair as an example. My hair is the kind of hair that grows slow. I don't get that half an inch to a 4 to a half a month. It's slow growing because of the follicle it came out of. Now, if you can see my finger, can everybody see that? Right here is where it starts out. And it has to go all the way around. Oh, no, let's say right here. I'm looking at the screen. Right here is where it starts. Then it has to go all the way around, and then out. It's gonna take that a little longer to get out. Then this is my texture, okay? I'll tell you guys, I got in trouble one time when I said my nappy hair. That was an insult to some people, but I just said, now I say my extremely curly hair. It comes out of here and it's not gonna come out as fast as this next follicle. You see that? That's a curved or bent follicle. The hair comes out wavy and curly, okay? That comes out a little faster than mine. And then you have this follicle. It comes out much faster, like the girl who had the hair down to her butt. That's what kind of follicles hers came out of. And it don't have no crooks and no turns, so it comes straight out and it's faster. So it depends on that. I don't promise anything. First of all, I don't know what they're putting in their body. And what you're putting in your body details what's coming out. So if a person is a person that eat a lot of carbs, eat a lot of sugar, don't drink a lot of water, they are definitely headed for disaster. Okay, and I say when you're scoping the consultants that are on here, when you're scoping, there's 3 things you're looking for. You're looking for a clogged pore. You're looking for the distance between the follicle, meaning that if there's a lot of space there, that means there's hair loss already. And you're looking for inflammation. And if you see any of those 3 things on the scalp, you can almost know they are on the highway to hair loss. Not saying it's going to happen today, not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's happening. It's already happening. So you want to detour them. And what is the detour they're going to take? They're going to take the detour over to the product. And that's how you're going to tell them what to do, how to do it to get better results. That's what's going to happen there.
And my other question, you said if you have to take drug tests and just put it on your scalp, not on your tongue?
Exactly. If you know you may be drug tested on your job, we suggest that you only put it on your scalp and not under the tongue.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? This is our Q&A time, you guys. We have these every now and then we come to this point, allowing you to ask the questions that you may have been wondering about.
Well, Doris, I can ask since no one else. What would be, I guess, do you know if anyone just say using it if the product wasn't working, or if at some point they should stop? If they started using it, they should stop using it. What signs do you see that something's not being productive for them?
Great question. If you see the person has slick area, no perks in the scalp, no fuzz on the scalp, more than likely the follicle is dead and it will not resurrect the dead. Just know that. Hemp powered hair is powerful, but it is not that powerful that it'll bring a follicle back that has died out. I call that a follicle hysterectomy. It's over. And I don't believe in leading people on. If I see that, gentlemen, I was at you guys might have heard the story before, but I was at a event and I had the product there, and the guy came by and he said, "What can you do for me?" And he had male pattern baldness. All this was slick. He didn't even have enough donor hair, meaning he didn't have enough hair in the back to transfer to the top. So he said, "Well, what can you do for me?" I looked up at him. I said, "Really nothing?" He said, "Oh, you mean to tell me you don't have nothing for me?" I was like, "No." So he said, "I just bought $200 worth of product from that lady down there. And she said my hair would come back." I said, "You just donated $200 because your hair is over. And plus, you don't even have enough donor hair to bring to the front." He said, "I thought you would be my new best friend." I said, "I am, because I'm telling you the truth. So go get your lollipop." If you guys remember who sucked the lollipop, and be happy, meaning Kojak. He can take the rest of that a little bit off. Yeah, he's lollipop. But it is like, be truthful. That's what you will see, Royal, slick. Even under your scope, you will be able to see that. See, most of the time we don't know we're losing our hair until we're 51% on the losing side. And sometimes you can't see it all the time with the naked eye. I scoped a young
Doris,
lady. Hmm?
I have a question while you're on that part of the subject. When I did a practice scope, I saw a lot of areas where there was fuzz, like you say, little bitty short, thin strands. Now, by those strands being thin, does that mean that that pore is slightly clogged, and the hair can't come on through?
That's a great possibility. It's also a possibility that it has DHT around the follicle, and
Oh,
the nutrients are being choked out. And
got you.
I work once a month with a dermatologist. She's a Black dermatologist, and she is amazing. So she's one of my best friends, and she allowed me to come in there once a month when she booked her hair clients, and I scope for her. I analyze their scalp, and in analyzing their scalp, and if I see something that I feel she need to come in there to see, I'll see if she's with a patient. If she's not with a patient, she would come in and she would identify what she can see through her eyes that she have did a biopsy on, maybe another person, and they had the same look on the scalp that this person had. So I'm able to hear what she's saying, see what she's seeing, and if she's busy, I would take a picture of the screen of that area and show it to her later, and she would say what she think it is. But to confirm, she does a biopsy. See, and that's why I tell people who say they're trichologists, you cannot diagnose. A biopsy tells the real story. Like if they suspect you have CCCA, they do a biopsy and they send that biopsy off and that come back with the results. And so, but you cannot go wrong with them getting a scalp facial to deep cleanse those pores and to start dropping those drops on the scalp to bring a healthy follicle back. See, that tells you that the follicle is still alive. When you see
Okay.
buzz and when you see those little perks, holes in the scalp. But when you see slick, nothing, baby bottom slick, it's over. It is
Okay.
over. The only thing
I
they
have
can do
one.
at that point, the only thing
Oh,
they can do at that point is do a transplant. Do a transplant, but you got to be a donor. Then they also doing PRP. I don't anybody on the line heard of PRP?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
PRP is where they take your blood and they have this machine that they spin the blood in and they separate the platelets from the plasma and they
mm,
take and inject the platelets back into the scalp. And the way that first came about, they was doing it to athletes for their injuries and all of that. And they found out hair was growing behind it. So now they
mm.
switched it from those areas to the scalp. And I've seen that being done. Spin their blood, separate the platelets from the plasma, and inject it back into the scalp. It's amazing what they're doing now. And they're testing being a donor. Like say, if I want to donate some of my follicles to someone else, they're testing that now to see
Mm.
whether that will fly. So it's a
Okay,
Has
I
that
have
been
one.
successful?
one at a time.
What's up?
She can finish.
I was
Okay.
asking, has it been successful? Has that been successful, the donating?
No, not yet, not yet, because I was just at a derm convention. My friend takes me to the convention, so people think I'm a derm, but I'm absolutely not. But I go and I hear what they're saying. Now, the year before I went, before COVID, I went to the derm convention. They only talked about hair, maybe about a couple of hours that day. They put in some hairs and hair loss. This time when I went to the convention, it was a whole day of hair and hair loss and different, looking at the scope, looking at hair on the scope. So now the dermatologists, they are tuning in to hair loss because it's big business, first of all, and it's an epidemic. So they felt, I'm sure, led to bring more hair into their convention. Why people are losing their hair, what they can use on their hair. So I was asking questions. I was also giving comments because dermatologists know skin. They don't necessarily know hair.
Okay, I have one more question, Doris.
Mhm.
That is, when I got my machine, there were two scopes interchangeably.
Mhm.
Now, the one that comes already on there. There's another one that the other one I think is the one that magnifies even more so. I didn't
Yes.
have a chance to try it out.
That's
Um,
what it does. One is, I think, one is 200 degrees and one is five.
mhm.
When it's five, it's just magnified that much more. But I found the one that came with it on was enough for me to see
Oh,
what.
really?
Oh
Did
yeah,
you try the other one? Is the
Eh,
other one the one that magnifies more deeply?
yeah, more. It's just more bigger. It's just like if you're looking in a mirror. You know how one mirror shows you yourself as you are, and then if you flip it over, it magnifies your face much
Yeah.
larger. That's what it does.
Would it be better to use the one that magnifies the biggest?
I mean, you can do it. Just do what's comfortable for you and
Okay.
making the right decision about what you see.
All
But
right. Thank you, dear.
yeah, the person you're scoping, they can see it under with the 200, and it scares them to no end. That's
Mm,
why, as a consultant, you should have your product. If you could, stock up on your product and
yeah.
have it right there on hand because more likely they'll buy faster. This one girl, she had a head full of thick, thick hair. And I mean, you look at her and you be saying, wow. But once you open it up and look down at that scalp, she was in trouble. She was in trouble. So Don't let the outer appearance fool you. Open it up, go down, scope that scalp area, and you will see the truth. And they will too.
All right. Thank you, Doris.
You are so welcome, Roy. I love that song. Uh, any other questions? There are no silly questions, you guys. Okay, Dr. Ross, look like they're all fed and full, and hopefully they are ready to get out there and make it happen. Akana has just made a promise to the world that they're going to stomp out this hair loss. And we are all on board to making it happen. If you're
All
not,
right, fantastic. We got somebody, I don't know if she did mention who she was, Zoom user. She said, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to gather so much information. Thank you. Who is Zoom user?
I don't know.
Unmute yourself, Zoom user.
I thought I would mute myself so that I
That's
wouldn't
Diana.
speak.
Okay.
This is
All
Diana,
right.
and I really have just the questions and getting all this information. I tell you, it is awesome.
Thank you, Diana.
And you know, I got to get with you later on. You know that.
Okay, I'm available. I want my consultants to get out there and get started because people are waiting on you. They're
Oh, I
waiting.
know.
They
You're-
want
Yeah,
to,
me too, Doris. I'll be reaching out to you as well.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
I am available to you guys because I know it's work and I know it works.
So Doris,
So,
have you done, like, have you gotten all 10, well, 9, because the company has one.
yeah.
They all fill up?
I think it may be one more left, one or maybe two, but I know it's maybe one. Because the
Okay.
company's keeping one, I think it's two left. But we got to I want them to feel comfortable with going out there because, when people say, well, how are they going to do that? And they're not cosmetologists or they're not trichologists. I said, how did Mary Kay do it? And there was a makeup artist or skincare specialist. That's, yeah. And they have billions. She's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Even though she's
Yeah.
dead, she's a billionaire. And that's what we are. We're going to be billionaire big. You got a script. That's all you need. And every day, every session, you will learn more. I always tell people who are presenting, any questions that you get in that presentation, make that a part of your next presentation.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they'll be
It's
saying,
just like with the bioscan. I mean,
right.
people think I'm a doctor of this or whatever, but
That's right.
after going through the training, hearing it over and over and over again, because I have to tell
Yeah.
them I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a wellness coach. But once you become learned with the information, you get more comfortable with it, and now you are the expert.
And
Rena,
people,
you unmuted. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, no. I was just saying you're exactly right. Because once you know that information and you present it so well, people,
Yeah.
people automatically they know what they're talking about. I'm going off and get some of this.
exactly. That's how I've trained over my years of being an educator for different companies. And I would say to you guys again, you're going to be asked the question, do you know about so-and-so's product? You just simply say, I'm not familiar. Even you may know about it, but if you say I'm not familiar, what can be their second question? It won't be about that because you are not familiar. But if you try to tell them what you thought about that product, you'll find yourself talking about it all the way. So I
Yeah.
always just simply say, I'm not familiar,
Not familiar.
not familiar. And they can't ask me nothing else. So why would you ask me about something else? I said I'm not familiar.
And Ms. Doris, Rena has been a nurse for many, many, many years.
Oh, wow, Rena, you need to come on aboard, girl. You got it going on. I know you know some questions, some answers. Yeah, people think I am well, when I'm at the derm convention, they naturally think I'm a derm, but I'm not. I've just been around her for over 30 years. And we bounce off of each other. For as I telling her about hair, she telling me about skin. And now I go to the conventions just like I'm one of them. They don't know.
So Rena, do you understand what the hair scope is?
Yes, I had read about that. I thought it was so interesting. That's why I've been getting on these calls and looking at all the videos because it's, I mean, that's it. Like she said, an epidemic. I was like, wow.
Awesome.
It's an epidemic. People are losing their hair, especially the traction alopecia. I just don't understand it. If you know you're losing your hairline, why you continue to put that stress on your hairline? I see people where hairlines should be, and it's back to their ear. All that done been pulled out from traction. And if you continue, it's not going to grow back.
I don't think they realize when they first start doing it that
What?
that's what's going to happen. It's just like when people get their locks retwisted. I've seen people where the part in between the locks has gotten so big,
Yes,
yeah, but by the time they realize what's going on, it's already gone on.
it's gone. And
Yeah.
and I don't understand how a stylist, whether they are a natural hairstylist, a regular stylist, or whoever, can continue to do that to a client when they see they are losing their hair. Those parts are getting wider and wider. That means they are losing, they're tightening too tight, or they are shampooing them and let them dry down instead of putting them up on their head. It's a whole lot of reasons why. But I never wanted to be guilty of that.
Mm-mm.
Never. But it's happening.
All right,
Okay.
ladies. Y'all, I
All
told
right.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Roz.
I
Yes,
told you.
Thank
She's
you,
the
Dr.
one that
Roz.
come.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
was very
Dr.
good.
Roz, and thank
Yes,
you
it was
so
good
much,
seeing you.
Doris, both of you. Have a
you all are
wonderful
so welcome.
afternoon.
Okay, you guys
Goodbye,
just
John Boy.
good.